A dramatic meeting in Dalton leads to even more controversy, this time over a new hire.
Not only did Mayor Tiffany Henyard make the hire without consent from the board, we're learning tonight the newest employee has a storied past.
Dane Placco has been following this. He joins us now with this exclusive story. Dane.
Yeah, within hours of Mayor Tiffany Henyard appointing a new village administrator last night, allegations were surfacing about his background, including some startling allegations of inappropriate behavior.
My next appointment will be for village administrator.
Last night, Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard appointed a new top aide to a $100,000 a year job without board consent. 34-year-old Michael A. Smith, who's been active in South suburban politics for years.
The reason for Mike is he has a wealth of great information. He's a young person and ex-politician. He knows the laws like the back of his hand.
Perhaps that's because Smith has been in and out of trouble with the law for years. Public reporting shows Smith has been charged at least 8 times with crimes ranging from domestic battery to official misconduct. In 2012, Smith, then a young trustee in Dixmoor, resigned after pleading guilty to theft when he allegedly stole gasoline by posing as a police officer. Then in 2018, Smith was working as an assistant dean at Thornton Fractional High School when he was fired for sexual harassment of a female student, grooming a student with lascivious intent, and inappropriate aggressive behavior towards a male student. According to his termination letter, Smith was accused of contacting a 15-year-old female student on Snapchat with inappropriate comments and making her his girlfriend.
We have a constant pattern of her hiring people without doing a proper background check and presenting it to the board. And that's our issue. That could pose a great danger to our community.
Dalton trustees Brittany Norwood and Tammy Brown
is alarming.
Were not at last night's meeting when Smith was appointed. The 4 Dalton trustees opposed to Henyard postponed the meeting and say none of the action taken was legal.
It's very interesting, considering the fact that she didn't have a quorum. So I don't understand how someone could be appointed.
Smith is replacing Henyard's previous hand-picked village administrator, Keith Freeman, who fell out of favor after he was charged with bankruptcy fraud and is now believed to be cooperating with an FBI investigation into Henyard. But Freeman is apparently still on the village payroll and filling the job.
So can you have a second village administrator?
No. We don't have the finances for that. As you all know, we are definitely in a financial bind, and we cannot afford 2 village administrators.
Now, late this afternoon, Smith responded to these allegations through Bo Brindley, who is serving as Henyard's criminal defense attorney in her other case. Smith saying through Brindley that he was cleared of any wrongdoing in the matter at Thornton Fractional High School by DCFS. He also says all the charges in those other cases we talked about were dropped, save one in which he pled guilty and paid a $50 fine. And he goes on to say, and this is through the mayor's statement, says Mayor Henyard renounces efforts by any individual to denounce a man's character based on unfounded allegations and charges that have been dismissed. Now, Smith was already working today at Dalton Village Hall when we stopped by there earlier. Trustees say they are going to try to block that appointment when they meet again. Live downtown, Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago. Back to you.
Village staff members tonight.
She did it at a meeting that she says trustees who oppose her tried to cancel. WGN's Jenna Barnes has more.
Well, one of those appointees is a new village administrator, even though there's already an administrator, a former Henyard ally, Keith Freeman, currently doing the job. This all happening at a meeting the Board of Trustees postponed until next week, a move that Henyard's lawyer says is illegal, so she went ahead without them tonight.
The Open Meetings Act says, you know what you got to do to cancel one of these meetings? You got to give 10 days of notice. 10 days of notice to the public. Certainly notice to the mayor. You know what they did? They didn't give you any notice at all.
Just today, Attorney General Kwame Raoul's office found Dalton violated the Open Meetings Act at its June and July meetings after complaints from residents that Henyard's administration limited seating, blocked the entrances to Village Hall with barriers, and created a hostile environment. The acting police chief at the time cited threats to Henyard's safety, including a letter mailed to Henyard's mom's house that was written In blue marker, it stated, "See you in prison. Your mother raised a loser. Your mother is a loser." The AG's office finding that the letter mailed from Rhode Island was the only evidence that the board provided in support of the manner in which it conducted the meetings in question. The letter was critical and insulting, but it did not implicitly or explicitly threaten violence. More importantly, the letter did not arrive until after the two meetings occurred. Tonight's meeting, if you can call it that, was much less attended. We counted fewer than 20 people who showed up.
Just pay attention to who bring all the drama to your community. Where all the hecklers that's normally in the crowd, they're not here today. Where everybody that got something to say when everybody up here talking, giving their opinion. That's how you know everybody are plants in the audience.
And just last week in Thornton Township, Supervisor Tiffany Henyard couldn't hold a meeting because the trustees there didn't show up amid ongoing power struggles in both of the governments that Henyard runs.
In Dalton, tensions rising tonight with Mayor Tiffany Henyard defying village trustees and moving forward with a meeting they had postponed.
Casey Cronus is live in Dalton with the latest tonight. Casey.
Much of tonight's meeting featured a monologue by Mayor Henyard, who says there is a smear campaign against her. Henyard's personal lawyer also gave an impassioned speech advocating for her. But only 2 trustees showed up tonight, and one of them left halfway through. At Dalton's Village Hall, the doors opened and the lights were turned on, despite a regular board meeting being canceled.
As you can see, the Board of Trustees decided not to show up.
On Labor Day, village trustees announced they were postponing the meeting, moving it to Thursday, September 12th.
Mayor and us 6 trustees, we need to get it together.
With no quorum, Henyard announced nothing would be voted on. Still, department heads spoke, and with about 20 residents in attendance, Henyard, who has dubbed herself Super Mayor, took the floor.
Wake up, pay attention, do your research on everybody. Can't be just, I want to research the mayor. Research everybody, then you'll understand the fight. You'll understand why things is the way it is. Because when we took over, we came and cleaned up the village of Dawson. And what I mean by that is, when they got a complaint, I told them, please make sure you take care of the residents.
Henyard even appointed a new village attorney and a village administrator, despite one already holding the role.
She can't appoint one because Keith Freeman is still the village administrator. All of that was illegal. Once she didn't have a quorum, what she should have did, adjourn the meeting.
Henyard's personal lawyer, Bo Brindley, who was seated beside her, says the trustees didn't provide the necessary 10-day notice to reschedule the meeting. As Henyard introduced him, Trustee Brown asked to be excused. Brindley alleges the mayor is under attack.
This attack comes in the form of false statements. This attack comes in the form of frivolous lawsuits and unconstitutional recall efforts.
And it just so happens this comes on the same day Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul issued a binding opinion regarding 2 recent Dalton board meetings, finding Mayor Henyard and the village board violated the Open Meetings Act by failing to make its June 3rd and July 1st meetings convenient and open to the public. Henyard says she is excited to announce she will soon be holding a State of the Village address. She says she will be providing receipts and tells residents to stay tuned. Reporting live in Dalton, Casey Cronus, Fox 32,
tonight,
Chicago.
Dalton's embattled mayor addressing the public and taking new action involving village officials. Tonight's regularly scheduled Board of Trustees meeting was canceled because there weren't enough trustees present. But Mayor Tiffany Henyard still showed up and appointed a new village administrator and a new village attorney. Trustee Jason House telling us those appointments are not valid and the appointees will not be paid. Now, this comes on the same day that Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul's office issued a binding opinion saying that Dalton repeatedly violated the Open Meetings Act this summer. The AG is ordering Dalton to make all future meetings convenient and open to the public, and that includes ensuring there is enough space and not closing streets or putting up parking barricades.